Pete's Perfect is a billing service. We do pediatric therapy billing for clients all across the country. And we were starting to grow at a rate that was a little more than we had anticipated. And we had the need to get some virtual assistants. And so our owner had met with your company, and it seemed like it might be a good fit. And so we reached out to Rockstar, and immediately they had very good feedback for us. They presented us with some very good candidates that we used to fill our positions. And I think that JM might have came to us in the second round of hiring that we did, because I believe we've done 3 or 4 rounds now of hiring. We've essentially tripled our size in our billing department because of our VAs. And JM has been extremely beneficial to our department and instrumental in helping us get other VAs trained. And he's just done a tremendous job for us. And we really appreciate the fact that Rockstar was able to get us in contact with such great candidates. Much easier for us than trying to list our own ad and find our own people. It really helped alleviate some of that stress and burden for us.
So every great partnership hits friction at some point. Now, whether it's process, communication, expectations, what were the early bumps that you had to work through for this partnership?
So in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult for us, just kind of with the time tracking process and making sure that everyone was on the same page as far as when it came to keeping track of their hours and things like that. Because we're on different time zones, it's like the middle of the night for them when it's our early morning. And so trying to get like everyone on the same page, and that was a little bit difficult, but I feel like we have a pretty good process now. We're clocking in through our EMR system, and we have like a separate tracking for the VAs that makes it a little easier for us.
Thank you so much for answering that question, Kim. Now, could you take us back to that moment when you both looked at each other and then you said, okay, we've got this now, with all those things that what was that moment like?
It was actually pretty relieving because it's like any new system you have, there's bumps to work out. But once you feel like you're there, it's just a big stress relief.
Sounds great. Thank you, Kim. And that is basically like the secret sauce, the processes, the early bird anticipation of what's to come, and I think that's something that a lot of our future partners as well are nodding their heads. That's exactly what I'm going through right now, and that's something that I want to get off my plate. JM, brother, when you first stepped into this role, what were you determined to get right, and what felt hardest in the beginning?
First, I really wanted to, all to know the billing, all of the billing cycle, because when I started being a VA, it was just sending medical records, faxing it, just like that, and calling for some denials, But for this specific client, or with Kim, they wanted us to reach 1,000 touches. I'm sure she still remembers it. The 1,000 touches per week is probably the hardest one that I could have remembered.
All right. Sounds like a beginning of a journey, John, JM. And so let's talk about the adjustment phase this time. Now, as the process, of course, evolved, it sounds like it's going there and the expectations becomes clearer to you. What were some changes you had to navigate with you and your partner, with Kim?
First is the mindset, obviously, because I was easy going back with my first client, but with Kim, if you were gonna look at her at the first time, she looks very strict. Yeah, but as time goes on, everything is going so well, and I think I'm doing a great job because aside from working on the business hours, I'm actually working after the business hours because I really need to learn about the new EMR and the billing cycles here because it's really different from my first one. So I really need to make a lot of adjustments. I need to get a lot of time working on the EMR first before I could be more productive.
All right. And what motivates you to do that?
Actually, it's just a challenge for me. That's the reason why I'm pursuing to, up to this date, I'm still trying to reach the 1,000 per week. That's my goal as always. Even though we already changes our KPIs, our analytics. Well, as of now, I'm still pursuing the 1,000 because that's my very challenge. I want to show myself that I can do it.
Sometimes it's something like a challenge for us. That's something that we need to prove to ourselves, not to anybody else, Not like somebody's pushing us to do it, Like there's a consequence behind it, but it's just something that you feel deep down, like you want to see how far you can go. Now, Kim, I want us to talk about leadership and growth, ma'am. How has this partnership with JM changed you as a leader? And what are you able to focus on now that you couldn't before?
So with JM, it's nice because we can give him those projects, that one of us might have needed to lead in the past. And I know that with, the details and what our goal is, I can pass that task on to him and he's going to complete the project. So that frees me up to work in other accounts and just other bigger projects that we may have going on, and not just with JM, we have other VAs that we've been able to train for different areas that really is allowing not just me, but all of our account managers more freedom. And it's just been a huge success for us.
All right. Thank you, Kim. And I believe that sort of leadership that you do is also adopted by JM, and I can see that in his way of challenging himself in a lot of things. If there are going to be some things that you would like JM to know that he probably doesn't know as of yet, what would those things be that he contributed to you in your business and also personally?
Well, I think him helping us with the other VAs has really helped bridge that gap between our side and the VA side of things. He is very good at going back to the team and sort of rallying the troops, if you will, to get them on board with ideas that we have and things that we would like to accomplish. So that's huge. We try to make sure that they know they're not just a number to us and that we are invested in them outside of this. And we're constantly worried when they have bad weather, or even as small as like if we find out their child is sick, like we're constantly thinking about them and making sure that they're okay. Is there anything that we can do to help support them? So I think that is a huge part also as to why JM works so hard, because I think that he knows that we care about him more as just a number on our team. And that he actually means something to us outside of this.
All right. Thank you so much, Kim. And I believe that's already on the books for JM to always remember this day. To those practice owners as well, what are tips that you could share to them?
I think one of the best things for us is that the Rockstar team puts together a great group of candidates for us to interview. When I say we need to hire 5 people, I'm getting, 10 or 12 people to interview and pick from. So I feel like I am having the best options to pick from. Now, something that we have now that we didn't have in place our first go around is pretty much a training guide and training manual. We had to kind of create that as we went with our first group. And we've added to it, we get feedback as to what needs to be in there, what the VAs may struggle with and need more help with. So I think developing our own training plan for them has been extremely beneficial as well.
That's the unfiltered, raw advice from one of our successful partners here at Virtual Rock. Jam, how about you? What is something that you would like Kim to know that pushed you to grow in a way that you didn't expect?
For me, it, hold on. Well, 'cause, I just recently had a kid like last year. To be honest, it's really hard. Aside from working on the clinic or doing the billing business, she gave me advices on to have a kid, about the kid. Yeah, and she actually gave me advices that I could work into my personal life, aside from all the business, all the works. She's the best.
So, to the both of you, JM and Kim, thank you so much.